Good evening, exiles. So, we woke up this morning, bunch of snow on the ground. So, I was planning on doing a video and getting about this and getting all my winter camping gear and clothing all gathered up. But I had to do it now, and it's a good thing because we had to go around the house finding some of the stuff that got put in places it shouldn't have been. So, this is a good time before it starts getting really cold to go through and make sure you have everything. So let's start with these are my everyday boots for warm weather. They're like jungle style. They're half boot, half tennis shoe. They're made by Ultimas. I think that's how you say it. They're really light and comfortable, but they have these vents on the side to make them cooler in the summer. Which causes some problems in the winter because slush will get in there and it's no good. Makes your feet cold and wet. And sorry about my voice and the coughing. I'm getting over a bit of a cold. So switch into more winter style boots, more waterproofed. They're a lot heavier. I don't like them. I don't like wearing them every day. These are not the right ones. So good thing I'm doing this inventory because these are steel-toed. And you don't want to wear steel-toed in the winter unless you're doing a job that absolutely requires it, because the steel gets cold and makes your toes cold. So that's why it's important to go through your winter clothing gear. Alright. Let's start with this on top. This is a t-shirt hoodie. And then I got this like medium weight hoodie. And this thicker hoodie. These are just, well, these two are cotton. And this is some sort of synthetic blend. But if you're just doing stuff around the house, out in the yard, as long as it's not raining, hoodies are comfortable. They're great for that kind of stuff. That's why I have 3 different weights of them. That I don't care, and I don't really care about these if they get tore up or anything like that. Thrift stores and Goodwill is a good place to buy that kind of stuff. Alright. This is the liner for my coat. This is what I normally wear most of the time in the winter. The original one that came with the coat, which is right here, was tan to match this. But living in the RV over the spring, mice decided to make a nest in it and ate it to pieces. So I had to buy a replacement one, which was black. Would much rather have the tan one, but the black one's the only one that was available in my size that will zip in and match all the connection points to the shell. Black looks better when you're just walking around, but I'd rather have the tan one, because I'd like to eventually switch all my outdoor gear, all my camouflage, tactical gear, all my outdoor gear of that kind of stuff to multicam. And I'm slowly doing that over time. So I'd like it to be tan because tan goes with the multicam better. But like I said, black's good for every day. Oh, another thing is, these are Thomas's. Boots that are insulated, tall for walking through deep, wet snow. Great boots. Obviously, he hasn't worn them. They're still attached to each other. Still has the tags on them. I'm not sure where mine are. So this is why we're doing this. But anyway, in the pockets of these, I keep. Oh, and I will put a link, an Amazon link in the description to all this kind of stuff that I can find on Amazon. Some of it may not be available. I'll find the closest thing I'll put a link to the closest thing I can find. Alright, so this is a minus 33, 100% wool beanie. I can put it on and pretend to be a hipster. But it's really light, thin, comfortable, fits in the pocket. And I carry that in this along with a pair of gloves These are actually Mechanics brand gloves. And just by chance, these work with a phone. I don't think they're designed to do that because getting ones that worked with a phone was a $5 upgrade. But these work with my phone, so. Anyway, so this is what I wear most of the time when I'm walking around, going to work, or going to church, going out to dinner, places like that in the winter. And I keep the shell for that in the car in case I need something that's more waterproof and windproof. Because the wind will go right through that fleece jacket. So this shell, again, this is a 511 one. Waterproof, great. Windproof. And normally I also throw in here, it also adds, before I get to what I keep in the pocket, it adds a great, another couple of layers. So it adds even more warmth for really cold weather. It buttons up around your face, completely seal you off. And usually I keep in here, but I'm not sure where I put it. Something else needs to go on the list, is my black neck gaiter. It goes around your neck, it's like a scarf, keeps you warm, pull it up over your face. You know. I think it's in the Tahoe. I think last time I used it was some COVID crap. And I had to go someplace. But anyway, I usually keep this in the car with me. And then if I need it, if I need the neck gaiter, if it's cold enough to need that, I probably need this first. And so that's fleece. Let me talk real quick about synthetic versus wool. Alright, first off, let's go with cotton. This is a cotton t-shirt. Phrase is cotton kills. In the winter, if you're cold and you overheat a little bit and start sweating, the cotton will get wet, it'll stick to your skin. The water will suck the heat right out of you. If you're going to be outside working or camping, don't wear cotton unless you don't have a choice. Synthetics or wool. I prefer the new non-itchy wool like that minus 33 hat and this minus 33 hat and gaiter. But I can't afford nice wool that isn't itchy to do everything yet. So we're slowly getting there. The other things are synthetics, so like polypropylene and fleece. They work great. They're not quite as good as wool, but they're really great. Alright, so back to where I was at. So this is one more thing. Every day I wear Fun Toes wool socks. I wear them all year round. They're my favorite wool sock. They're not too warm. They're comfortable, and they wick sweat away pretty good. So that's my everyday sock. I wear them in the winter. I wear them camping. Every sock I own is this. That makes I never have to worry about digging through the door matching socks. I haven't done that in years, like 6 or 7 of them. So I'll put a link to those. So then these are gloves, like ski gloves. All this stuff goes in my camping gear, bug out bag, tactical assault, whatever term you want to use. I don't care what you call it. This goes in my bigger backpack full of gear. So these are winter gloves. I prefer mittens, but all I can find was my gloves. So mittens needs to be on the list. These have less insulation. These are like field and stream shooting gloves for like hunting. They have less insulation around the fingers. That's why they're black. So you can pull the trigger and operate your gun better while you're hunting. I don't really like that. They were given to me. They are Gore-Tex. They're really warm. I use them, but I prefer mittens because mittens keeps all your fingers together and keeps them a lot warmer. And something I would do is ideally I would have this glove be able to fit into, grab the left one for both of them, fit into my bigger glove or my mitten. That way I get all the... Must have hit the recording limit. So anyway, what I was saying is I tried to get so my thinner gloves fit inside of my mittens and ski gloves, and the liner just came out of this because it doesn't quite fit the right. That way I get both insulated layers, and then if I need to, I can pull these gloves off and get more dexterity. And I'll have to fix that later. Now it's a wadded up mess. So these gloves and these gloves do not work together. That's why why it's important to inventory your stuff. Okay, so in with the camping gear goes my other wool hat. That's the tan coyote color, minus 33, and my minus 33 gator. These are both 100% merino wool. And again, the reason they're the khaki, tan, whatever color you want to call these, brownish color, is for camouflage. I don't think that's 100% necessary. It's a nice to have. But anyway, in case you're not familiar with a neck gaiter, so it goes around here like kind of like a scarf, and then if you need to, you can pull it up over your face. And they make different weights of these, as in different thicknesses. Get what works well for you. These are the same gloves I showed you earlier, but in multicam. I need to cut the tag out of it. I'm really happy with these. Alright, so you've probably heard dress in layers. So this is my base layer. It's a polypropylene pants and polypropylene shirt. Like I said, wool will be better, but this is what I can afford and what I have. This goes up against your skin, wicks water away quickly, adds the first layer of insulation. Basically, it's your underwear, and wool will make you less stinky. These, after a day or two, will start to get stinky. Wool, you get a few more days out of them before they get stinky. But the, like I said, they're pretty cheap. But, remember, with the layers, you mix and match with what layers you need for the weather you're dealing with. So, like, I wouldn't wear all these layers all at once. So your next layer is your more insulating layer. This is my Air Force issue waffle shirt. Oh, you'll hear people in the military a lot of times refer to this as a ninja suit, because you're dressed in all black, skin tight, you look like a ninja. So this is my Air Force issue waffle shirt. I don't know the official name for it, but it's really warm, insulating. This is a middle layer. But this is why I said it's a good idea to have the hoodies to do stuff around the house in, because like this is the hole for your thumb to go through while you're wearing it, and this is the giant hole that I wore in it because I was using this outside with an angle grinder, and I burnt holes in the sleeves, and now it's starting to fall apart. But it still works, still really warm, so I'm not gonna replace it. And I tried to order a matching one off of Amazon. So those are relatively expensive. This is the Rothko version of it, and they sent me these green ones instead of the tan, which I'm not gonna return them, it doesn't matter to me. But anyway, the Rothko ones, they're a little bit, the real issue ones are a little bit softer, but the Rothko ones seem really nice. I'm really happy with it, because I wasn't issued the pants. So now I have a complete set of waffle as a mid layer. So then as another mid layer warming layer, and like I said, you probably won't wear both of these layers at the same time unless you're really cold or like heat strokes. Is a pair of insulated pants. Now, when you're a kid, you probably wore the snow pants that were insulated and waterproof. So this is just like the insulated layer. It's not waterproof or windproof, but I like it better than the insulated snow pants we wore as kids because it gives you more options so you can dress for the appropriate amount of warmth you need so you don't get too hot or too cold. Because if you get too hot, you'll start sweating and then get wet, and when you stop working and start to cool off, that sweat, even with good insulating layers, you're going to get colder than you'd like to be. So if I'm going to be outside camping and that kind of stuff, I have these were given to me by one of my coworkers. They're the Air Force issue pants. I have an Air Force issue fleece jacket that came with it, but the zipper in the jacket's blown out. So he gave me the matching pants. But if I need it, I'll just throw on the fleece jacket that I wear most days. And between the two, that's my fleece layer. And I would prefer this to be in khaki, but I'm not going to buy a replacement one. It's just I'm buying replacement stuff in the right camouflage patterns as I go. So these are my issued. After you get done with this, you need something waterproof and windproof. So these are my Gore-Tex pants. I don't wear them a lot unless it's really windy or rainy or I'm going to be kneeling down a bunch. They're pretty easy to put on, so if I'm like setting up camp, I'll put them on. That way when I'm kneeling down and stuff and I take them off, because that's annoying when you're walking around. But they're really nice. They're waterproof. They have cargo pockets. They even have, instead of like the regular pockets on your jeans, where that would be is actually this little waterproof flap that you can button close, but it lets you get into your pants pockets. And you can reach all the way down to your cargo pocket to get stuff out. I like that feature in these over the old Gore-Tex ones. These are also made out of Gore-Tex, but they're called Apex series. These are Gore-Tex. I don't know why the military names things the way they do, but anyway, I don't like the camouflage pattern of these, but they fit me for now, unless I gain more weight, so they're staying in the pile. This is the Gore-Tex coat that was issued to me before this one was, and there's stuff in the pockets of these. Money. Change. I have to go through the pockets of these. I haven't worn them since last winter. But with these two and the fleece pants and jacket, you're pretty darn warm. And like I said, I wish this was in multicam, but it's in woodland. I'm happy with it. It's kind of loud, but not nearly as loud. Now, if you can't afford these, because I realize Gore-Tex and even the ugly Apex ones are kind of expensive, even in Army surplus stores. These actually, the price on these has gone way down because the military is now issuing all their gear in multicam. So these old ugly ones have gone down in price. But if you can't afford those, or to give you another option, this is my raincoat I wear during the summer. It's not as warm as this one, but with the fleece underneath it, it's warm enough for anything I ever need to do. It's waterproof and windproof, and it does pack down pretty small. I remember years ago when I was 15, 16 years old, we were at a fall camporee. So a fall camp out for the scouts. And it got really cold and windy. It was probably in the low 50s, which I know in the winter is not really cold, but when you're not expecting it, low 50s is pretty cold all day, kind of that drizzly and really windy. So having a fleece jacket and my raincoat, I was completely warm warmer than I needed to be. So that's pretty much it. So this is the last piece of winter clothing thing. It's my poncho liner. This one is by Snug Pack. And unlike the military poncho liners, this one has a hood and sleeves, so you can actually wear it as like a insulating layer underneath the poncho. Which reminds me, I don't know where my poncho is. I need to get better organized with this stuff. That's what I'm working on here. Anyway, so you can put this underneath your sleeping bag to lay in it, or before you lay in your sleeping bag to insulate you from the ground. You can also put on some of the other layers. Put this on, put the poncho over you, and just curl up someplace to sleep if you didn't have a tent or couldn't build a shelter or anything. So this looks like a lot of stuff, and it is. Like I said, this just gives you lots of options. You don't need all of it. Get what you need to do the jobs you need to do. But how I store it is in these seal line bags. They're waterproof dry bags. They come in a bunch of different sizes. I have this one. I have this bigger one here. This one is 30 liters. This one's 5. I also have a couple of 10-liter bags. And they all go into this big bag. Now this bag, I don't remember the name of it, but it's military issue, obviously. And it still has the Alice system. This is the last bag issued with the Alice system before they switched to all the Molly stuff. And this bag didn't stick around long, but it has all the modern features except for Molly in it. And I'm not going to go into a review of the bag, but anyway. Sleeping bag storage in the bottom. And I keep all this winter gear and everything. Takes up majority of the top. So majority of this much of the space is where all this stuff will go in. And I don't usually take this whole thing with me camping. What I do is, this is my storage unit. So then, this bag, which attaches to it, is where I throw what gear I need for that camp out or whatever I'm going to be doing outside in. And then this bag can clip to this one. So if there is some sort of disaster where I need to take all my stuff, I can. But this small bag will get me through a weekend camping trip or anything like that. It doesn't have enough room for the food. We are gonna add some bags to the side of it so I can keep food in it. But it'll store all my winter gear. Real quick, in case you ask why they got rid of this one, they didn't issue very long, is these, I threw it in the cat water dish by accident, these plastic yokes for to adjust the straps break easily. So first time I used it broke, so I gotta modify this, replace it with a piece of aluminum. But anyway, if things got really bad where we had to leave the house, I could take this whole thing, throw it in the back of the van, and it'll give me all my winter clothing plus all my other kit. I will do a complete video on everything that goes in here once I get it all packed up and stuff again. I just got it not too long ago, and I haven't worked out all the bells and whistles with it. So that's pretty much all my winter camping or clothing gear to get me through all kinds of different winter cold, a little cold and breezy to freezing rain and everything in between. Oh, one last thing is I do have because the military has multiple layers to their system, and I do have a layer 7, the marshmallow suit. I have the jacket that was issued to me, and I bought the pants. I'm going to try at some point in time to use like this and maybe a sleeping pad, maybe not, and So a sleeping pad, this, and the level 7 together as instead of a sleeping bag. I haven't got around to trying that on a winter camping trip, but I do plan on doing that. The thing is loud, it's bulky, and it tears easy, so it's not a good piece of walking around doing stuff in clothing, but it is really warm. I think the only thing it'd be useful for is to wear it as a sleeping bag. So that's everything I got for you. Hope you get something out of this video. I hope it lets you help decide what you need to prepare for winter, and I hope you get out and do some fun activities in the winter. Camping in the winter is great. Like if you go camping in the winter, you never have to worry about the guy at the next campsite being a bunch of loud drunks, because the loud drunks don't come out to camp in the winter. But not only that, I hope it inspires you to go through your stuff, because winter is coming, and get everything lined up so you can find everything before you need it, like the handful of things I'm missing and need to go find. So thanks for watching, and remember, we, his people, will start rebuilding.